Alright guys, so here we got the Speedy Bee Bee35, and I really like this drone. It's really durable and robust and everything, and it flies, like a freestyle drone and everything. And it flies really good, but the PID tune on it is a little weird. It's different than what I've ever set anything at. But I think it's the stock PID tune for it. I've done a lot of research because I built this one and I've done a lot of research, but something very strange is going on, and it doesn't have any sensors on the bottom of it or anything. But whenever I cut the throttle and I come down and I flatten out, I can have zero throttle, and it has to be at zero throttle. It can't be a little throttle. It has to be exactly zero throttle, and it catches itself. It will spool up the motors, and it'll actually keep it from hitting the ground. Now, whether that's the purpose or not, to actually not hit the ground or not, uh, I've talked to Bardwell, and he said that
You've got a Bee35. It's a 35 inch, and I believe the Bee35 is a Cinewhoop, is it? Let me look. Yeah, it's a Speedy Bee. That's a Cinewhoop. Cinewhoops are particularly prone to prop wash oscillation. So don't do that. Instead of dropping straight down, pitch forward a little bit and kind of fly out of it, and that will help.
You
could
see his
also.
response?
What did he say?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
throttles up and doesn't let me hit the ground at zero throttle. So I think he's sort of asking why it sort of stays spun up when he's trying to land. That's almost what I'm getting out of it.
I have the impression that it's dropping because he's throttling down to zero. I mean, you should obviously be able to hit the ground.
He says it catches itself. If I throttle down to zero and I'm flat with the horizon on my B35, it catches itself. It throttles up and doesn't let me hit the ground at zero throttle. So to me, that sounds like he's trying to land and it's spinning up and he can't get it to lower, but I don't.
So obviously the quadcopter has no idea how far it is from the ground. So we can just reject out of hand the idea that it's preventing you from hitting the ground. Something else is happening. You're dropping. Sometimes when you get into prop wash oscillation, the motors spin up. Right? That's a thing. But right, like Bubby says, Cinewhoops throttle up when diving. You'll get into that dive, you'll get into that prop wash, the PID controller will kind of freak out, and the motors will spool up, and it may catch itself, as you're saying. But the answer to that is not to do a rapid dive, but to do a sort of a more slow descent. And I don't see any reason why it wouldn't slowly descend toward the ground. It drops fast and it throttles back up like it has some sensor, but it doesn't. No, you're right, it doesn't. Atreides, what's happening is that when you drop fast, the Cinewhoop is not very aerobatic. The PID controller is trying to stabilize the Cinewhoop, but the motors are not very responsive. And as a result, the motors just kind of surge. And the answer to that is you just can't do long, fast dives with a Cinewhoop unless you accept that, as you pull out of the dive, that's going to happen. If you're slowly descending, I don't see how it would happen, because obviously a Cinewhoop can descend. Any quadcopter can descend. Siati says props in helps a ton.
Well, I just want to demonstrate this and show you guys what it actually is doing. And but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go at zero throttle. I'm going to go into a dive, go at zero throttle, and I'm going to flatten out, and I'm going to show you where it catches itself. And I'm going to try to catch my I'm going to try to do a camera on my hands too, so you guys see exactly what my hands are doing at the same time. All right, guys, here we go into the flight. All right, guys, here I go. Of course, I point it right at a tree. So I got zero throttle right there, and it's just hovering. So if I come over here, I'm going to do a dive and then pull out of it, 0 throttle. So as you see, I got to be flat for it to catch it. If I'm pointed down, it will come straight down until I flatten out. That input going sideways there, I didn't do anything. No inputs right now. Hands off the controller. But if I got just a little bit of throttle, it drops like normal. Oh, it didn't catch itself that time, did it? All right, so let's flip this thing over. All right, this is a strong drone. I ain't worried about it. Here we go. There, 0 throttle, and it's caught itself. If I point down though, it will drop at 0 throttle. You got to be flat. See, I have no throttle input. And I don't want it too low to the ground in case it decides to catch up or something and just drop like it did that once. But look right there. No inputs. As soon as I get into just a little bit of throttle, it will drop. So I can still land like normal. All right, guys, there you go. That's the only way I can demonstrate it. Some people might want to say it's like a feature and kind of save you in a crash. I don't know. I will put my PID tunes on the end of the video here. I'll show you my PID tune and show you everything that's programmed on it, and maybe somebody can go into depth on what's causing it. And if you want to try this out for yourself, try that PID tune out and see if it works. I would say probably do it on the same drone. I've never tried it on any other drone. And my Speedy Bee B35 is built just like a stock Speedy Bee B35. Alright guys, thank you for watching. See ya. If you can hear me, make sure this is all matching. Every bit of this. The numbers and the sliders. Make sure it's all matching. Same here. You want every bit of this to match.